Hello everyone, and thanks for joining today's Vision 6 Power Session, Vision 6 Tricks, the second set of three. My name is Andy, I'm the product trainer here at Vision 6, and I'll be running through today's Power Session with you. So just quickly, if you're new to our Power Sessions, they're short and sharp, generally a maximum of 20 minutes, designed to let you learn something new and then get straight back to your day. And remember, you can ask questions at any time during the session today. Everyone is in listen-only mode, so you'll need to type your questions into the Q&A panel or the chat panel provided in Zoom, and we'll go through those at the end of the session together. So today's Vision 6 tricks, which ones are we going to cover? Well, trick number one, we'll go through the default font formatting function. It's a little bit of a mouthful. Trick two, we're going to have a look at how you can get feedback and approval from your colleagues before you do your email sends. And number three there is we'll have a look at the email click map report. And then, of course, we'll go on to those questions at the end there. So default font formatting, what is it and how does it work? Well, this little function in Vision 6 allows you to easily change all of the styles everywhere within your email design. And by styles, I mean font family, colors, the formatting, and the size of the fonts as well. And this is a fantastic little tool that allows you to easily maintain your brand styles and your colors that you might use throughout your email design. And it's a great little tool to be able to quickly change your font styles and colors, formatting, and so on throughout the whole email. If you, for example, perhaps maybe use the wrong font or something like that. And the great thing is that if you save these styles into a template, so you do up your email design, style it appropriately, and then save it as a template, then other staff, when they come in and use that template as the base of their email, of course, all those styles will be applied there as well. So it's a good way just to make sure that the email design and everything is exactly the way that you like, and it's online with your branding. And this little function uses the predefined headings and paragraph styles that Vision 6 has available. So we'll jump into Vision 6 in a tick and you'll be able to see what that means and how you can use that within your email design as well. So here's what we'll be doing today in this little first section. You'll see on the left we have our email design as it is at the moment. There's a few changes to the fonts and colors there throughout the email. And on the right, we're going to use the font formatting function to make it look nice and consistent there as per what you see on the right-hand side. So I've just flicked over to Vision 6 now. Hopefully you can see that on your screen. And on the left, I've gone into the messages area where all of my emails are kept. I'm just going to open up this email here that I have been working on. As you'll see, fairly standard email with our logo and email banner and that kind of thing. Have a look at the top there, it all looks pretty good. Oh, but if we go down a bit further, it seems that one of our staff has gone in and changed it to Comic Sans. Not exactly what we want for our branding here today, not too good. So let's go and fix that up and keep it on style with our branding and that type of thing. So it's over on the Design tab here on the right-hand side. You'll see that we have this Defaults panel, which you can open and close through there. Now here on this Default Fonts panel, we've got a lot of different options for different styling. So I'll start with the body text here. So let's look at the color. As I move my mouse over the color selector here, you'll see most parts of the email are changing to reflect that color. So this is a great way to override the entire font color within your email there on the right-hand side. But you'll notice that there's two little parts that aren't changing. There's the blue bit and there's that sort of sign off at the bottom there in gray that aren't changing. Why is that? Well, essentially what happens is if you go in and manually set the font color by coming into the editor here when you do your text typing and then manually set this to something here, that will always override what's set in the default fonts, because we sort of assume if you've gone to the trouble of manually overriding it, then you must want it to be a different color, for example. But if that's the case, that's okay. We actually still have a great little function here called Reset Email Styling. And that strips out any of that custom font setting and colors that may have been applied manually here and defaults it back to all of these options you've got set here. So let's push that now. And we'll confirm that's been reset. And you'll see throughout our email now, it's reset it all down to use anything that we've configured here on the right-hand side. And at the moment, it's not much. We've basically just said Arial 14. That's all it's really doing. Everything else is being inherited. So now if we come here, you'll see the fonts changing everywhere because it's now sort of back to the default styling. We can also change the font. So let's make our entire email use this Railway font here, one of the new Google fonts we have. That's looking good. And the color, of course, we could change if we wanted to through here, but that's actually okay. Now let's have a look at header 2 here. You'll see I've got a couple of headings in my email. And if I mouse over them and highlight them, you'll see they're using header 2 or heading 2 in this drop down here. So this is a great idea. What you can do is when you're designing your email, use these little heading 1, 2, and 3 presets, and that applies whatever style you set here, heading 1, 2, and 3. So say I wanted to make all of my heading 2s our sort of purple branding color, I can do that. Now they're all following along, which is great. I could make them italics instead of bold. I could make the font bigger. All these kind of options are now being applied simply because I've told that part of the text to use the heading 2 component. And the same could be for heading 1 and 3. You've got different options where you can set your own colors and stylings for those independently. You'll see here that I've got this blue hyperlink as well, so I've obviously linked that through to something. If I wanted to change all of the links in my email to have a different color, again, you've got a nice little links panel here in the default font area. And let's make that purple again to match with our XYZ Donuts branding. So I can select that there. If I didn't want the underline on all of my links, I could press that there as well. So again, it's a great way to style all of your email in one go to make it look consistent. And if I then went and save this as a template, other staff members who come in and use that template, all of that would be set there and would be applied on the right-hand side. So that's nice and easy to use, and you can ensure that they're all sort of following the right branding and styling guidelines that you might have. That's a nice little way to keep that consistent for your staff members. Okay, the second little tip we'll go through today, or trick, is getting feedback from colleagues. So this is a great little function built into Vision 6. Again, it's one of those little Vision 6 tricks that not many people perhaps may know about. You may have seen it there, not perhaps known what it does. So today we're going to cover off some of these great little features there. So it's a great way to easily get feedback or request feedback before you send out your email to your real or full contact database. And it's good for those last minute checks that you might need to do just before something goes out, especially if the email's gone through a few rounds of changes. And also getting approvals from your manager as well, if that's required. So I know for a lot of larger companies and government departments, they may require that sort of approval step there, particularly if it's going to a large list. This is a great way to do that because all the feedback and the comments are logged in Vision 6 against the email as well. So you'll see all the information there as part of the audit trail. And best of all, that last little feature there, the people that you invite to leave comments or feedback, they don't actually need to have a login to Vision 6 in order to leave you a comment on your email. So that's great as well because possibly your manager may not have access to Vision 6, but you still want them to be able to approve an email or comment on it before it goes out. So let's take a look at how that works. I'm just going to refresh this so I don't save my changes, and we'll go into the test function here on the, save that on the top right there. Now you'd be familiar with this function if you've ever sent an email test to yourself or a colleague, and that little test button on the top right there. So what this will do is, of course, it will send you a copy of the email to your inbox or any other people that you put in here. You can put in all your all of your colleagues' email addresses with a comma or a space, and then normally you press send, and that test then gets sent to them. However, if you switch on this commenting option, which you may not have seen before or perhaps wondered what it did, here you can now put a bit of information in there. So for example, can you let me know if this is good to go, for example, and just pop in a note. And this is the note that they'll see on the other end. So when you pop in your colleagues' addresses up here, press send, they'll get sent an email that says, Andy has invited you to leave comments on this email, and it will, of course, have this little introductory note so they know what it's for. So you can sort of say, is this good to go? Do we need to just check for approvals and so on? So when we press send now, it'll send off that test into your colleagues' inboxes as well as your own if you want to, and they'll be invited to leave a comment. But what does the comment look like, or what do they see when they get this email from you? So here we go. This is what they'll see in their inbox. So they'll have a preview of the email, just like normal that you would get from the Vision 6 test function there. But there's the little note at the top to say, can you please check this before the send or whatever comments you've left there. And there's a nice little link that they can click on to leave a comment on your email for you. So that's what they would click on to leave the comment. And what happens then when they click on the comment box? They get this little option here. So it opens up a special web page. Again, they don't need Vision 6 access to do this. And again, it will show them the preview of the email at the bottom so they can go through it and just double check everything. But at the top of the screen there, they can actually leave their comment for you. So for example, in this case, hi Susie, email looks wonderful, nice graphic. Great job, good to go on the email send tomorrow. And then what happens if they leave a comment? Where does it go? Firstly, Vision 6 will send you an email saying a comment has been left. That way you don't need to keep logging into Vision 6 to look for comments. It could be a little bit tricky or tedious after a while. So we send you an email to let you know that you've received a comment. And it includes the actual comment itself as well. So you don't necessarily need to log into Vision 6. It could be something as simple as, yes, it's good to go, or things like, maybe the link in the first paragraph was wrong, or the graphic's too dark, can we swap it out? Maybe there was a typo or something like that. And also the comment that any comments that your colleagues and people leave will get saved in Vision 6 on the comments tab against that email. So let's say this is the email we asked for feedback on. If we go to the comments tab over here on the right-hand side, this is where all of your colleagues' comments will appear down the side here. And that's sort of that audit trail. You can see who left the comment, when, and what was said as well. So it's good for that approval process if that's something that you need to do at your organization. So the last of the three is the email click map report. And this is a great little tool to see how people are engaging with your content. Are they viewing all of your content, or are they sort of, on a per average basis, are they sort of only getting a certain way down in your email? And what link types do people prefer? Because from this, you can get some great insights as to how you should structure and design your emails in Vision 6 to give you an idea of how people are engaging with that. So let's jump in and have a look at the email click map report. I'll just jump into reports here on the left-hand side. And I'm going to choose this one here. It's got a little bit of reporting data against it. So this overview screen, if you've ever viewed the Vision 6 reports, you're probably quite familiar with this screen here, but it's the click map that we're going to have a look at really quick for you today here. And as you can see, this gives you a visual representation or little heat map spots here as to what parts of your email the users are clicking on. So this only works if the section in question had something clickable in it. So you can see here that my logo had a link on it. Our web links component here had some links. The banner was clickable too. And then we've got the image, a text link, and the button down the bottom there as well. All went to a different link, or just some of them may have been the same link actually, but they all went somewhere at least when it was clicked on by the user. Now, if we hover over that, we can see the statistics in terms of the total number of clicks and clicks out of opens, the link itself, where it went. And if we have a look at this one, we'll see here that not too many people realized that this image was actually a clickable link. Only 5% of total clicks in the email, of those, 5% were on this little ebook image. The text link here performed a little better. Almost 13% of people who clicked anywhere on the email clicked on that particular link. But as we can see, the button has a nice big spot on it there. So this one worked quite well. 18.18% of total clicks were on this button. So from this, we can get some great insights. And for me, this sort of says that buttons work really well as a call to action, especially if you put a bit of the padding around it. In Vision 6, you can adjust the padding around the component, give it a bit of clear space and breathing room. From a design point of view, it looks nice, it attracts attention, easy to see and fairly obvious there as well with the color scheme keeping in line with our branding as well there. So buttons generally work quite well as your call to action. So again, from this, you can get some great insights as to what people are engaging with and how they engage with the various parts of your email too. Now, if I come down a bit further, you'll see there's no heat map spots down here. So that either means one of two things. Perhaps I didn't link anything down here in the email, nothing was clickable, or no one actually got down this far, or no one clicked on anything essentially. So from that, again, you can sort of ascertain whether or not maybe our emails are too long. Perhaps instead of including the full article in our e-newsletters each month or week, we should maybe just include the first few paragraphs and then link off to the news website where they can then go and read the full article from there as well. So little things you can sort of get from this reporting here just to work out how you should or how you could adjust your email design to make it perform better in future. So great little handy tool there. That's available on all emails that you send. Come across to the click map here and you'll be able to see this data for all of your contacts that receive the email. So a nice little tool there.